Hi and welcome to episode 16 of PopJunkie TV. I'm Vicky and I might have a criminal record.
And I've definitely got a criminal record because I've had to listen to the new Keane album, and my name's Sean. Well, we've been away, haven't we?
Yeah, big summer hiatus.
I've had a long summer of discontent. You've probably been out at festivals and hanging out with all the hippies and going on trips away.
Yeah, but lots of poor music, but the tide's turned. All the big albums are out now, aren't they?
It's an exciting time for music. It's been a pretty rubbish summer, but we're back. And tonight we've got the four big ones. It's not gratuitous sexual innuendo, we actually have got the four big ones.
They are Oasis.
Kaiser Chiefs.
What's the other one?
Keane's new album. And
awful.
the debut from the Attic Lights.
Okay, so the first album we've got is Dig Out Your Soul, the new Oasis album, and it's a bit of a mixed bag really. I'm quite a big Oasis fan, but I do think they are way past the heyday, and everybody knows that, you know, already. But it's just fairly formulaic, it's pretty predictable, there's a few good tracks on it. I really like Waiting for the Rapture, but was quite shocked at the similarities to The Doors' 5 to 1. Then the ballad with Liam's really good. It reminds me of Songbird, which is one of my favourite Oasis singles actually.
I'm Out of Time, which should be the new single. I think you're being a bit unfair. I actually think it's the best thing they've done since Morning Glory. You know, it should have been the follow-up to, you know, Morning Glory, but here now was the kind of cocaine-addled, you know, opus. This is much better. You know, they've ripped off stuff. Sure, they've ripped off the Stooges. They've ripped off Cliff Richard on The Turning, Devil Woman.
Check out PopJunkie.
Could be about you, that, couldn't it?
One, yeah.
They've got Bag It Up. Sounds like, you know, The Pretty Things. You've got a bit of a Fool's Gold groove going on. Falling Down, which Noel sings, which should be a single. The one that Cameron Brothers have remixed, but
yeah,
that's a great track. It's almost like a sort of krautrock groove. And I think what they've done, they've taken, you know, a lot of different influences on this album. They've made probably the strongest, rawest album that they've made. Yeah, it's pretty raw, it's pretty bluesy. It's raw, it's bluesy, it's psychedelic in places. You know?
I wouldn't say it was raw, I'd say it's a fairly predictable album from Oasis.
I think it tails off. If you're being fair, I think they shouldn't have let Gem write the song on there, shouldn't have let Andy on there. You know, it tails off towards the end. I think the first 5 tracks, killer. First 5 tracks, you know, probably the best sequence on an album you're going to get this year. Admittedly, it goes a bit down the pan after that.
I think for a band of Oasis calibre, it's a 6.5, 7 out of 10. It grows on me. I have been listening to it on my iPod over the past week, and it has gotten better, but it's nothing new.
I'm saying, yeah, it's 7 out of 10. We're agreeing on that one. I don't get paid a lot of money for doing this programme, but I should get paid danger money and blood money for having to endure the new album by everyone's favourite posh alt-rock trio, Keane.
Fresh from Rehab.
Fresh from Rehab, Tom Chaplin, addicted to port and Stilton, probably, allegedly, according to Serge from Kasabian, and Noel Gallagher thinks they're rubbish. Judging by the new album, he's probably got a point there. Track 1, Spiralling, which basically apes David Bowie from the 80s. There's a track, ironically, which could sum up the whole album, called You Could Do Better Than This, yeah, which is basically a rip-off of Ashes to Ashes. It gets worse. There's a track.
What is the rip-off theme going on in this episode?
They've got everything down, you know, there's horrible squidgy keyboard effects. Ill-advised white boy funk. One track's got a saxophone on it, funky guitar. You've got a track called Again and Again that's smothered with cheesy synths. Sounds like something that a-ha would do. There is a track called Black Burning Heart, which ironically is the best track on the album because it's got an arty French bit on it, which always makes a good song. It's probably a girl speaking on it as well. It's probably glamorous.
Oh right, okay.
But you know, Perfect Symmetry. You'd be hard pressed to give it, you know, more than. Well, I'd say
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Yeah, I'm not keen at all.
So next up is Kaiser Chiefs. Now,
I predict a riot.
Yes, yes. Well, Kaiser Chiefs, last album, Yours Truly, Angry Mob, everyone hated it. I quite liked it. So much so that I called my rabbit, who sadly departed, Ruby, after the song Ruby, Ruby, Ruby.
There we go.
So the new album, Off With Their Heads. At first play, I didn't like it. I listened to it at the same time as the Oasis album, so I had sort of both of them going at the same time. And first off, was a lot less good than the Oasis album.
A lot less good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Until you went to school properly.
Yeah.
Like I did.
But it's grown on me a hell of a lot more. The first track, called Spanish Metal, is wicked. It's just real pumping indie tune, loads of guitars, quite raw, typical sort of Kaiser Chiefs. I like Kaiser Chiefs because they're quite melodic. They have really good harmonies on their album. They they've got a song called Tomato in the Rain, which is about halfway through the album,
Okay.
which is sort of like Beatles, kind of
Right.
like Yellow Submarine. It's very melodic, bit psychedelic.
Okay.
I love his voice now. I really like his voice a lot. But again, it's just nothing that groundbreaking. It's just nothing that different.
It's been produced by Mark Ronson, hasn't it? Or
You can tell
co-produced.
that, and you can tell
Has
that.
he put loads of rubbish sort of?
There's not
trumpets
too
on
much,
it or
not as much as the last album, I don't
That's
think,
the
actually,
blessing.
which was a bit like that. Another rip-off though, they've got a song called Addicted to Drugs, and I kid you not, exactly the same as Addicted to Love, Robert Palmer. Like, I can't even believe that I got past the record company. So I'd say it's a kind of 7.5, 8 out of 10. It is better than the Oasis album. If you like Kaiser Chiefs, you'll really like it, but you know, it's nothing new.
You might as well face it. Okay, so we've done 3 pretty big indie albums of the year. We've done Keane, Oasis, Kaiser Chiefs. For me, this is the biggest indie album of the year so far. It's a debut. Acid Lights, a band that we've been championing on PopJunkie.
Well, you have.
Well, I have, yeah. And Ashley was involved as well.
Yeah.
That was a week you were out while the cat's away. Well, that's quite camp, wasn't it? Acid Lights are from Glasgow. Scottish indie pop band produced by Francis McDonald, manager as well. He also is a drummer in Teenage Fan Club. This album does sound a lot like Teenage Fan Club. It's
Really?
kind of jangly pop that sounds basically like Phil Spector and Brian Wilson getting in a pop studio with a guitar band and making the perfect summer pop album.
Oh,
And
it
it was
makes me want to go and buy it.
we had a crap summer, didn't we? And this is always makes up for it. Not that it bothered me because I hate summer, but you'd probably like it because it's it's sunshine pop.
Okay.
It's the Byrds, it's the Beatles, it's Big Star. It's a bit like the Cosmic Rough Riders. Do you remember them?
No.
Basically, it's choruses so big you could surf on them. It's it's
So what's the
it's
standout track?
standout track for me. Well, the recent single Wendy, which could be the soundtrack to a kind of teen, boy meets girl romance, teen romance flick.
So something I like.
Boy meets girl in New York, girl on the jet plane, boy in a car getting across New York. Is he going to get to her in time? Is he going to vault the security desk? Is he going to fall in love with her? Wendy
Right.
could soundtrack that. You got a track called The Dirty Thirst. It's all about the dangers and perils of drinking, something we here at PopJunkie know far too much about. Don't Bring You Down, which was the
ELO.
no, not that one that you do in karaoke. No, this is basically sounds like the best song that Phil Spector and the Ronettes never made.
Ooh, this is sounding good, John.
It's a great album. I mean, there's not a duff track on it. It's for me. It's called Friday Night Lights, and the whole idea of the album is that you're waiting for the weekend to happen. Friday Night Lights. You see Friday Night Lights, and you go out on the town and get involved in things like girls, failed relationships, drink, and all such evils that you get up to in Scotland.
So highly recommended for the pop.
Highly recommended it. It's probably my favourite debut album of the year. Marks out of 10. Oh, well, they'd like to see their name in lights, wouldn't they? So I'm gonna give it a 9.
Wicked, wicked. So it's the album of the week, 9 out of 10, Attic Lights.
You heard it here first, or maybe third.